立法會主席。
發言，石禮謙議員就政府帳目委員會第67號報告書向本會發言。石禮謙議員。
Thank you, Mr. President. On behalf of the Public Accounts Committee, PAC, I have the honor to table our report, number 67, today. Out of the 10 chapters covered by the Director of Audit's report, number 67, PAC has decided to hold hearings on 2 chapters that contain more serious allegations of irregularities or shortcomings. These chapters are funding of universities by the University Grants Committee, UGC, and the maintenance and safety-related improvements of the public rental housing flats. The committee has also studied the other 7 chapters by asking the relevant bureau and departments to provide written replies to members' questions on how they address the inadequacies raised in the Director of Audit's report number 67. We would like to take this opportunity to express our appreciation to the Bureau and the Department in providing detailed replies to our questions. The committee was satisfied with these replies and decided that no public hearing on these chapters was necessary. Regarding the issues relating to the Research Grants Committee, RGC, raised in Chapter 6 of the Director of Audit's report, the committee has concluded a visit to the Council and received a detailed briefing on the Council's mechanisms to assess research proposals and to avoid conflict of interest of its member. On behalf of the committee, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to the Research Grants Council, the RGC, and its Secretariat for arranging such a useful briefing to enhance members' understanding. The committee's report today covers our conclusions and recommendations on the chapter Funding of Universities by UGC only. For the chapter on the maintenance of public rental housing, as voluminous information have been provided by the witnesses on the issue relating to excess lead in drinking water in some public rental housing estates. The committee has decided to defer the tabling of the report of this chapter to allow ourselves more time to consider the issues. I will now report the conclusions and recommendations on the chapter funding of universities by UGC. In the year 2016-2017 financial year, the administration's recurrent expenditure on education amounted to $74.7 billion, the largest spending area of the administration. Out of this sum, around $18 billion was earmarked for grants and reimbursement provided to the 8 universities funded by UGC. Given the substantial amount of resources involved in tertiary education, UGC and UGC Secretariat should exercise good governance and be transparent and accountable in using public resources. The committee expresses grave concern and dissatisfaction and finds it unacceptable that UGC's management of conflicts of interest. As an example is that 26 register of interest form of members of UGC and Quality Assurance Council of UGC were found missing. The committee urges the UGC to rectify the irregularities and inadequacies expeditiously. The committee also expressed grave concern and dissatisfaction about the lack of useful statistics to evaluate the cost-effectiveness of internationalization of universities. UGC and the Education Bureau have not compiled statistics on whether non-local graduates of UGC-funded undergraduate and postgraduate programs would study or work in Hong Kong. The committee agrees on the importance of internationalization of university and demands UGC and Education Bureau to compile the relevant statistics in order to evaluate the cost-effectiveness of the existing policy. Furthermore, UGC and the Education Bureau should also regularly review whether the present mix of non-local students and public grants to university have achieved the intended objectives of internationalization. UGC and the Education Bureau should continue to monitor the UGC-funded university program performance on internationalization. Lastly, Mr. President, I wish to record my appreciation of the contribution made by members of the committee. Our gratitude also goes to witnesses who attended the hearings held by the committee. I would like to express our gratitude to the Director of Audit and his colleagues for their support. Lastly, but not the least, I'd like to thank wholeheartedly the Secretariat of PAC for their unfailing support. Thank you, Mr. President.
議員議案，根據《釋義及通則條例》